we are now going down south. We're in London, and late 80s, early 90s. Tottenham Hotspur, Hummel, Holston Pills. Any memories?
I remember the Hummel shirts from my Norwich days when I was at Norwich. They used to wear Hummel and what have you. So this memory's a good one really when you think about the players that played here at Tottenham. These were this was one of the grounds, the old White Hart Lane, and where you wanted to go and play football because you were playing against some serious talent and what have you, and you were judged against, major opponents, and Tottenham were one of them. For me, this brings back... Did you play there
for Burnley as a kid?
I did, yeah. Yeah, in the cup, and we beat them down there actually with Ardee, Les and Roberts and all these. Hoddle, I think, played in it as well. Right. And Burnley, my hometown club, we give them a bit of a doing on their famous pitch. But this reminds me of your likes of Lineker and Gazza. I'm not sure whether I might be right or wrong here, whether Klinsmann wore this as well. But ultimately, I like this strip. I like the plainness of it.
All the time he spent on the floor.
Maybe, yeah, but he liked to fall down now and again. But he was a top player. Gazza in particular was a fabulous player. One of my sort of heroes in the day, even though he's a lot younger than me.
He nearly came to United.
He nearly did, yeah. Nearly. It was very close. I think it all came down to a last-minute phone call where Tottenham or he lost his way down the M1 or the M6 or the A1, whatever it was, and he ended up there. But no, Gazza, right, my recollections of Gazza are not only with Tottenham but with England as well. Where me and him sat a couple of times on the bench, talking about all things good and waiting to get on the field. He got on more than I ever did. I got my one cap and got involved in 5 or 6 squads. But he was an exceptional talent. You've got to consider him one of the best footballers that this country's produced. In the position, he was an unusual player. He was strong. He was physically capable.
Say, close control. The pitches weren't great in those days.
No,
he could hold
great
people
ball
off.
Control.
He could carry it through lines. He could shoot from distance. Yeah. And there's times when
his
he could beat
creativity
6-7 players and roll it in there.
And to be honest, he's a fan's favourite. Every fan, whether he was at Newcastle or Tottenham, wanted to be Paul Gascoigne on a football field because he just oozed confidence, he oozed quality and class, and he delivered. He delivered over a period of time, and a great ambassador for both Newcastle and Tottenham.
Probably less of a character, or maybe in a different way, Gary Lineker. Great goal scorer, ultimate professional. You come up against Gary in your career?
Yeah, many times. Yeah, he was part of the England setup when I broke through for a couple of squads. But my recollection of Gary was at Old Trafford, funnily enough, when I remember the team talk Sir Alex gave before the game. And Sir Alex was sort of saying they got a number 9 in Lineker, they got a forward, can score goals, but don't worry about him, he doesn't score goals from outside the box, only inside the box. What happens? He picks up the ball one side of the field, he runs a little bit further outside the box, rattles it in top corner. Everybody's thinking, wow, some team thought that was. But it just shows you that players with this type of quality you can never rule out from scoring great goals, and he could score goals. And a career second to none, not only in this country, but went on his travels abroad and was a great servant to the game of football. It's a job for everybody to know exactly where a player of this quality is on the football field, especially when you're defending, because they can pop up in all these places and cause you some serious damage just by blinking. And he had that quality.
And moving across London now, Arsenal. Is this particular shirt, does it evoke any memories? Any particular players come to mind?
Yeah, players like Lineker, certainly Ian Wright, super centre forward, probably an icon at Arsenal. Yeah, still is today. Many players have probably modelled themselves on an Ian Wright. I remember Ian through this shirt playing against him. We had some battles against Arsenal, serious battles home and away. As people may know, I like Burnley Football Club. That's my hometown. And this guy, Ian Wright, played for Burnley at one point. So that just shows you that even a small town like Burnley can attract the biggest and the best sometimes. And he did a fair shift for Burnley. He did.
He scored a few goals. He certainly delivered. I think they got promoted that season.
Yeah. He left his mark in Burnley, and I'm sure the fans at Burnley remember him very, very well.